It's around the house, maybe you do.
Well, that's right, and after today, installing a light socket might be a snap for you, thanks to David Shannon and Shannon Lamp Service. And
David,
some of
thanks
these
for coming
lamps
in
we're
here.
going to learn on here. How are you? Nice to see you.
Right here. Well, I grew up doing it. I think we're gonna make it pretty simple today. If
Great.
everything is right. Now, there's a lot of times where you run into snags, you run into problems. You have to kind of learn to work around those. But we're showing you if everything is like it's supposed to be to start with, how to replace
So
it.
most times this would work then.
Most times this
Great.
will work.
Well, what do we need to do then?
First thing you need to do when a lamp is bad, we get a lot of aggravated customers come across town or across the city or whatever. They had a bad light bulb to start with. So number one, you always want to put a new light bulb in. One, not necessarily
Do it
new, but
first.
one you know that works first. Make sure that does work. The second thing you need to do is to unplug the lamp before you
So
start.
that's
So
the
we're going to start
important
by unplugging
Okay, well, let's
each one of our
unplug.
lamps.
Okay,
Which one are we going to
we're
work on?
unplugged now.
Yes, we're unplugged.
Okay,
First thing you do, of course, you need to take off the lampshade so you can get to your socket.
okay.
This one's been on, so it's still just a little hot over here, so that's another thing.
Don't burn your fingertips, Bill. Okay,
And then if it's not hot,
ready to go.
remove the plug. Remove the light bulb.
All right.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
did
can see
something.
why you do want to unplug that.
It would help, yes. I did
Here
something
it is.
this morning I've never done before. I put a bad socket in this lamp first. I know the camera can't pick it up. You'll notice how this is really burnt.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
if you
you
look
can.
inside of yours, it's nice and bright and shiny. That's normally a sign that it's bad. But take a screwdriver and on each socket, there's always,
Here's one for you, Bill.
almost always, I've never seen one done, there's a word press. And if you will kind of
Okay.
put the screwdriver down from the top and just kind of pop it up as you,
It's down in
Like in
there.
there?
yeah, just barely. What you're going to do is be pushing
Oh,
against
okay.
it so that it pops out.
Well, it does pop out there. Okay.
Take off the top shell
Okay, we've got that.
and the paper insulator.
All right.
Now,
Ready to go.
one thing you should check before you automatically replace the socket is see if the wires are burnt. A lot of times if there's been an overheating problem, especially people that use light bulbs that are more than 150 watt, trying to get a lot of reading light, the wiring will burn pretty bad. And you'll need to cut off the bad wiring and go down to where it's good. If it's bad anywhere else, then you would need to remove the whole wiring. But at this point, this wiring is fine on these, so
Really good.
we'll undo the two screws that are holding
Okay.
each side of the wire on to remove the old insert.
Okay, I'm finally okay here.
You don't have to go too far, just far enough to get, it
We're getting somewhere.
won't come all the way off. Just loosen it and then
Oh, okay.
it won't do this
Okay, you
one.
want to take it out now?
I'm
Take
kind
it
of
out.
slow over here. You can speed me up a little bit. Bill, you're on your own there though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
The old one would just be discarded.
are you okay, Bill?
I think so. A little bit of close work here, I'll tell you.
We'll continue.
I'm sure after you've, as many as you've done, it just pops off, right?
I charge by the hour, you know.
Okay, but, and, oh, he's ready now.
All right.
Here's the new sign. By the way, what we did on each one of these is, and this can be done even if your socket is working correctly, these had just an off-on switch. If you would like to use a three-way light bulb, you can get a three-way socket. Mount the same way, you don't have to change the wiring or anything, so.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
one thing we're doing right now is removing a push-through off-on socket and replacing it with a three-way.
Which is?
There's yours.
This
Oh,
one,
okay.
okay.
And this will go on exactly the same way the other one came off. One problem we see with a lot of home repairs is sloppy. And when you're dealing with electricity and you're sloppy, you run into problems. Make sure that your copper wires are twisted very tightly. If you have any little loose frayed edges,
These
if
look good.
one wire crosses over and touches the other one, then that would short out. This socket then would go right back on.
Okay.
You do have a neutral side and a positive side. To do it correctly, the neutral side is your silver screw, your positive side is your brass screw, and that's the way that we will do it. But I have never seen a problem. What you're going to do, the current will go through the lamp in reverse. It's not going, as a rule, to cause
Okay.
any trouble at all. Your negative side will always,
They're having a good time out of me
well, you're
here.
ahead of us, actually.
Well, Bill, really, you're doing great. I'm just sitting here watching both of you.
Your neutral side will always have a marking on it, either a ribbed edge. When you look at the two wires, when you pull them apart, one wire will be ribbed, the other wire will be smooth. The rib side is the neutral, that would go on your silver terminal, and then the other one would go on the brass.
Okay,
And to speed things up, we'll snap this one back
so
together,
we are about out of time, so are we about finished there?
and then when you plug it in, hopefully
Great,
it will work.
okay, let's do it. We're ready to plug in
Let's see how
now?
we go here.
We're ready for the plug-in.
All right.
All right, we are in business now. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope
Very
that
good.
helps.
Very good.
We'll keep working on ours so we can get a little
Okay,
faster with it.
good. Thanks
Thank
for
you
coming
very
in.
much
Thank
for it.
you.
Down